Thank you so much to everybody who is supporting me on Patreon. Your generosity and support is greatly appreciated. I love you all so much. If you like what I do and want to support me in a more personal way, then consider joining my Patreon page today. There will be a link at the top of the description. Hello and welcome to another LEGO Train MOC showcase video. This is a 7-wide upgrade and technically a rebuild of my FS743 class locomotive. If I recall correctly, this was something I first built 6-wide back in 2019, and it was a fascinating shape because of the massive funnels going along the side of the boiler, instead of them being at the front of the smoke box like you would conventionally see on a steam locomotive. And yes, this is the same locomotive used by not the new one because, you know, season 25 and all that, but one of the newer characters that was introduced to Thomas, called Lorenzo. An interesting shape, and that's where I originally got the inspiration. So a quick bit of research says this locomotive is from 1911, and this is quite a fascinating shape, especially for that time, I would say. It is so interesting seeing two massive funnels along the side of the boiler like this. Again, I did mention that earlier, but it's such a fascinating and different design. That's one of the reasons why I went for this. Another reason why I decided to rebuild this, and well, I suppose the first time around as well, was because of the wheel arrangement. This is a 280 locomotive, and it's actually a very smooth runner. There's a long enough connection from the pilot wheels to the main body. There's no trailing wheels behind the drivers either, so connection to the tender is very strong. And again, this is a very smooth runner. Now, of course, if you were to look at the real thing, there is loads of tiny intricate details going along the side of the boiler. But this being LEGO, capturing that is quite tricky. And now, the tender. When I first built this model at 6-wide way back when, the tender looked really weird. To kind of make up for parts, I had two white lines going across the side of the tender and the cab, and, you know, having to build this up properly without those white lines already makes this look so much better. Going one stud wider from 6 to 7, you really can add so many more details. I've been able to get the right shape this time. I've been able to find a few extra images which show a few details here at the back of the tender too. And overall it just looks really good, and I'm so impressed with how this turned out. I want to talk about some of the details next to the wheels as well for just a moment, because this is something I need to get used to doing. And I've done something similar, and you know, I am going to be doing this the more I build trains. But something that looks like this is a bit unique for my LEGO trains. So in terms of capturing some of the detail that comes next to the wheels, you know, the way it all kind of connects together, some of the springs and whatever else, it's just a connection of other pieces and just finding some of the right shapes. One thing I really do recommend is using minifigure hands. I've had to go through a lot of torsos to find these, and these really do look so perfect. They cling on just fine to the parts that they were connected to originally. They line up with the wheels just fine. Oh, it's such a brilliant design. I'm not someone who kind of came up with this sort of design idea. Many other people who are better at building LEGO trains than I have used this technique before. So this is me just discovering this technique, and it is genuinely such a good idea. Give it a go. I remember a time a long time ago, I suppose it was when I was doing a lot of 6-wide models, where I used to say I didn't like making tenders. And ever since I started building 7-wide at the beginning of 2020, I have been getting used to building tenders. You know, boilers were one thing, but tenders, it's tricky to try and capture a box on wheels just right. I would strongly say that this is one of the best looking tenders I've made. And that is the end of this MOC showcase video. Thank you all ever so much for watching. If you haven't joined the TLR Discord already, there is a link at the top of the description to send you straight there. There is a lot of chat going on. There's loads of different channels with fandoms and LEGO train stuff, as well as the other hobbies I have going on my channel, like cosplay and Nerf, as well as so much more to talk about and enjoy. If you like what I do and want to support me in a more personal way, then consider joining my Patreon page today. I want to say thank you to those who have joined my Patreon page and believe in what I do. Your generosity and support is greatly appreciated. I love you all so much. Thank you for joining my page. And that is it. Thank you all ever so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye.